guys, welcome to my kitchen. We are in here today because I wanted to talk to you specifically about a topic that has to do with nutrition, specifically how to eat healthy on a budget. If you watch my videos, if you've seen my what I eat in a day videos, if you've seen my videos where I talk specifically about nutrition and quality of food, you'll know that it's no secret that I spend quite a bit of money on food. This is because for me personally, my health is one of my #1 priorities in my life. I value my health above all. And so that is where I choose to direct most of my money. The way I see it, I would rather invest in my health up front through purchasing the highest quality nutrition and doing what I can right now to keep my body healthy, rather than having to pay for it later through a ton of medications, hospital procedures, all of the complications in health that come with not living a healthy lifestyle that end up racking up a lot of money. But the other week I was working on the fitness and lifestyle program that I'm launching for students called Brains and Gains in January. Be ready for that. But I was writing a section on my top tips to live healthy on a budget because most students are on a tight budget. And so I wanted to address that in my ebook so that students could feel like they have access to healthy foods that aren't gonna cost a ton of money. And this made me want to really sit down, or I guess stand up here and make a video about this, because I don't want anyone to get the impression that the way I have chosen to live a healthy lifestyle is the end-all be-all of healthy lifestyles, and that if you're not spending as much money as I am on food or not buying as high quality of food that you're doomed to never be healthy, because that is not the case. You do not have to spend a ton of money in order to eat healthfully. And so today I wanted to break down kind of what you need to know in order to transition to eating healthy on a budget if you're currently eating unhealthy on a budget, or you're eating really healthy but spending more than you really can afford to. And then I want to give you my top 7 tips on specifically how to eat healthy on a budget. I give my top 18 tips in my ebook that's coming out in January, but I just thought I would give you my top tips that are gonna be the most widely useful for everyone. The first and most important thing to do if you want to start transitioning to eating healthier but you have a very strict budget is to become financially literate. Watch a few YouTube videos, find a few online courses that are free, however you want to do it. Learning about money and budgeting is so crucial to being able to allocate your money accordingly. And honestly, I think everyone needs to do this regardless of whether or not you want to eat healthy. Like, everyone should have basic financial literacy. I started learning a lot more about money and budgeting when I started working on a documentary about the FIRE movement, which is Financial Independence Retire Early. There's so much to dive into when it comes to cutting costs, budgeting, just understanding where your money's going and what you should and shouldn't be doing with it in order to live the lifestyle that you want to live within your means. Once you've achieved some basic amount of financial literacy, the next thing that I really recommend doing is looking into budgeting. Just take a look at where your money's currently going, where you need your money to go, how much money is going to these different places, and evaluate. One amazing free tool that I used when I was first starting to learn about budgeting was mint.com. You can basically just hook it up to your bank account and everything, and it will tell you where your money's going, and you can set different budgets, and it'll tell you if you're gonna go over budget, and it's just a really useful tool to build that awareness about your money. And when it comes to eating healthy, this is the step that trips most people up, because a lot of people don't have a budget, or if they do have a budget, they aren't using it to guide their financial decisions. Obviously, you know, there are the people that are working 2 jobs to pay off $100,000 of student loans, and you aren't spending any money on anything other than basic necessities. Most people who aren't in that category think, oh, eating healthier is expensive, I don't have the money for this, and they don't realize that they're spending their money on a lot of other unnecessary things, which is fine if you want to prioritize those other unnecessary things, but if you want to prioritize being healthy and prioritize eating healthy, then you should evaluate your budget. Have a quick sit down and see where your money's going. Are you going out for drinks every weekend? If you are, that's like an extra 30 bucks every single week. That's $120 a month. Are you paying for 4 or 5 different entertainment subscriptions like Netflix, Hulu, HBO, Disney Plus, and whatever else is out there? You can get rid of one Instead, go to the library, get a free book to replace that entertainment, learn something while you read, and have that extra money to budget for your food. Are you buying a new item of clothing or makeup every single month? That adds up so fast. Also, the Starbucks coffee every single day. That's like $5 every single day that you could dedicate to healthier food. The point is that little expenses add up really, really fast. And so if you don't think you have the money, but you aren't limiting yourself to only buying the basic necessities, it might be worth just evaluating where your money is going and seeing what you could cut out. And this is where most people go wrong. Although I don't want to say it's wrong to want to invest in these other things. If you get so much value from going out with your friends every weekend that it's worth not investing that money into your food, then that's totally fine. Like, I'm not shaming spending your money on things other than health, but I'm saying if you want to get healthier, you need to prioritize your health in your budget. And that being said, eating healthy doesn't have to be that expensive. Like $150 extra a month by quitting your Starbucks, that's got you covered. There's this misconception that if you want to eat healthy, you have to start buying all these super expensive health foods and superfoods. Let me break it to you. Superfoods are not really super. Like, they're not worth your money if you can't fit them into your budget. All you need to focus on is switching to a whole foods based diet. That doesn't mean you have to add in a ton of new crazy expensive foods. It just means you focus on whole foods like zucchini and chicken, not acai and ashwagandha. Now I'm going to give you my top tips to reduce your expenses on healthy food. And I want to start out with a tip that personally saves me the most money. This is something that I use very regularly and has saved me, I think, over $1,000 in the last 2 years. And this is shopping through discounted food retailers. My favorite place to shop for all of my pantry staples is through Thrive Market. Thrive Market is basically like Costco, but specifically for whole, natural, healthy foods. Everything on their website is up to 25 to 50% off, and they also give out free gifts, coupons, and deals every single day. And pro tip, they give out 25% off coupons like quite frequently, so if you wait to buy until you get one of those coupons, you save even more money. It's all online, so it's super easy. You save gas not having to go to the store, which is amazing, especially when you live in LA and it just takes forever to get anywhere. And orders over $49 ship for free. One of their more recent introductions is that they also have really high quality meat and seafood available. Now, if you guys have budgeted for groceries before, you know that meat can be one of the most expensive items that you purchase, but getting high quality meat is one of the more important things to change if you are looking to like step up your nutrition game a little bit. So Thrive Market makes it even more affordable to get the high quality meat. I actually needed to place an order on Thrive Market today, so I figured I would save it for this video just to show you how much it can save you. So let me just show you what I'm getting and how much I'm gonna save. So there's just a few pantry staples that I really need to stock up on. Being on the autoimmune protocol, there's a few things that they get really expensive when you do have to buy them in a store, so I exclusively get them on Thrive Market. So the first thing that I need to get, because I've been baking a lot and absolutely loving it, is tiger nut flour. You can see this one is 14% off. And then I also definitely need coconut flour. And if you get the Thrive Market branded products, they tend to be even cheaper. So the Thrive Market coconut flour is 50% off. And then the last flour I need is arrowroot flour. Again, I'm gonna go with the Thrive Market version of that. And since it's winter, I need bone broth to make some soup, so I'm gonna get some of that. So I'm gonna get 2 of those. And then I'm running low on cooking oil, so I need to stock up on avocado oil. The Thrive Market avocado oil is 31% off. And then I go through onion powder like nobody's business. I put it on everything and it makes everything delicious, but spices are so expensive, so I'm starting to get more spices on Thrive Market, so I'm gonna go ahead and get Thrive's onion powder, which is 40% off. And then lastly, I really wanna get some coconut wraps to just experiment with and have fun with in the kitchen, so I'm gonna add some of those as well. That comes out to a total of $51.23 with a total savings of $26.89. I saved $26 shopping through Thrive Market, getting things that I otherwise would need to get. And the best part is that it doesn't cost an arm and a leg to get those savings. Right now, if you want to sign up, you can sign up for either a 1-month, 3-month, or 12-month membership. If you sign up for the 12-month membership, it's only $5 a month, which is why that's what I have, because I save between $15 and $25 every single time I order, and I order about once a month. So the membership more than pays for itself, and if you want to get an additional discount, you can sign up through my link, thrivemarket.com/fitandnerdy. I'll link it down in the description. If you get the 3-month or 12-month membership, you get an additional discount on top of the already super discounted prices on Thrive Market. Tip number 2 is a twofer because it's buy in bulk and in season. Both of these will save you a ton of money on your staple foods. Buying in bulk can save you an average of like 20 to 30% because the more units you're buying, the lower the cost per unit. This is most practical for non-perishable items such as oats, grains, canned foods, spices, nut butters, but also anything that you can freeze. So first of all, frozen berries and frozen vegetables. If you can buy the bigger bags, it's gonna be cheaper, or anything that you can buy in store and then freeze yourself. So if there's a really good deal on apples or squash, you can take advantage of that deal, get a bunch of it, and then prep it and freeze it. Sales on meat are a great thing to take advantage of because you can get the meat cheaper and just freeze it and then thaw it as you need it. And then on top of this, buying in season will also save you money. This is because when foods are out of season, the stores have to spend a lot more on shipping costs, shipping the foods in from halfway around the world, and so the prices go up. So when it's in season and things are growing more locally, the cost for the stores is a lot less, and so they can charge you a lot less. Tip number 3 is to forget about the labels. Don't worry about organic, don't worry about grass-fed, don't worry about superfood or low fat or low sugar. Just don't worry about the marketing labels. Just get the basics. Eating whole foods that are not organic is still going to be a ton better for you than living off of Pop-Tarts and ramen. Do not fall into the trap of thinking that if you can't afford the highest end food that you might as well not try, because every little step you take towards the highest quality food is going to help tremendously, and it's usually the first few steps that make the biggest impact. So switching from processed food to unprocessed food is going to make the biggest impact regardless of whether that unprocessed food is organic, grass-fed, or not. The one thing that I will caution though is specifically with meat. All the studies that show that meat is not so good for you are mostly the effects of what happens to the animals and the processing of the meat when the animals are conventionally factory farmed. So if you can't afford grass-fed, pasture-raised, hormone and antibiotic-free, all of the like super clean labels, then I do recommend maybe limiting your meat intake a little bit and focusing on the leaner meats, because most of the bad stuff gets stored in the fat of the animals. So if you're eating the animals with less fat on them, like just plain chicken breast, then you're gonna get a lot less of the negative effects of that stuff. Check out the meat on Thrive Market, see what you can afford there, but other than that, stick with the leaner cuts and maybe don't be eating fully carnivore. Tip number 4 is to cook at home. Eating out is so incredibly expensive because you're not just paying for the food. You're paying for the person who's cooking your food. You're paying for the person who's serving you your food. You're paying for the upkeep of the building that the food is being made in. You're paying for just all of the overhead costs of having a restaurant and having that restaurant experience. You can basically make 3 high quality meals for the price of 1 if you cook at home. That being said, I do want to acknowledge that having the time to cook from home is a bit of a luxury. I see a lot of people talking about how cheap it is to eat healthy, but ignoring the fact that it does take more time to really cut down your costs of your food because you have to cook it yourself. And so if you're not in a position where you can afford the time because you're working 2 or 3 jobs, then that's a different story. This is where meal prepping comes in handy. If you have a couple free hours during the week, you can prep a ton of food really quickly, and hopefully that will be able to take care of most of it. But I really do want to acknowledge that being able to cook, having a space to cook, is a privilege. But again, for a lot of people, this is something where you do have the time. You're just choosing to prioritize other things with your time. And so if you want to really work on eating a healthy diet, then you need to reevaluate where you're budgeting your time and maybe a lot more of it to prepping at home. Tip number 5 is to skip the supplements. They are mostly a waste of money. You do not need a protein powder. You do not need a pre-workout. You do not need adaptogens. You don't need superfoods in order to be healthy. In fact, a lot of supplements are not very healthy for you. Most protein powders are processed to the nth degree. It would be so much better to just focus on getting your protein from chicken, or make yourself like a lentil and kidney bean chili or something like that. Like, whole food sources of nutrition are going to be better for you anyway. If you need a pre-workout to get yourself to the gym and to get a good workout in, coffee. If you have a limited budget, do not be spending it on an expensive pre-workout that has a bunch of ingredients that are not proven to be helpful other than the caffeine. Just have caffeine in coffee. Adaptogens, you guys know I love them. I get so excited about trying new adaptogens and experimenting, and it's something that keeps me passionate and excited about nutrition. And so that's why I love investing in them. But are they necessary to be healthy? No. Can they be helpful in being healthy? Yes, but there are so many more things that are going to make such a bigger impact than adaptogens, like eating a diet of whole foods, getting enough sleep, managing your stress, exercising enough. Those 4 things do so much more for you than adaptogens will. If you're worried about a specific deficiency, then what I recommend doing is first getting your labs done to see if you're actually deficient in anything. And if you are, then first trying to incorporate more foods into your diet that have those minerals in them. So like, if you are deficient in iron, just incorporate more foods into your diet that have iron. Get organ meats. Organ meats can be incredibly inexpensive. Eat eggs. Eggs are nature's all-natural multivitamin. Eat more vegetables, eat more fruits. The more you focus on maximizing the amount of nutrients in your diet, the less likely you'll be to be deficient in anything. Speaking of which, tip number 6 is kind of an unconventional tip for this kind of video, but it's something that I specifically like to focus on when I am deciding where to invest my money in my food. And this is assessing your purchases based on the nutrient to dollar ratio. You want to maximize the nutrients per dollars. And you want to think of this both as micronutrients but also calories, because you can easily say like, well, a zucchini has a ton of micronutrients and it's relatively cheap, so I should just buy all zucchini. But if you only eat zucchini, you're probably going to wither away and die because there's not a lot of calories in zucchini. Pay attention to the nutrition that each individual food has and invest in the nutrition. Let's say you're going grocery shopping, you have a bunch of vegetables, you have some meat, you have some fruit, a little bit of grains, and you have a few boxes of toaster waffles. You only have a few dollars left to spend, you need a little bit more food. First thing to go, probably toaster waffles, because they're not going to provide nearly as much nutrition as you could get if you're buying more meat, more vegetables, nuts, seeds, fruit, etc. Not to say you can't have toaster waffles once in a while, but if you're on a strict budget and you're trying to eat healthy, it just helps put things into perspective. And then tip number 7 is a bonus tip, because it's not actually about nutrition, it's about just living healthy and specifically exercise. I just wanted to throw this in here because a lot of people think that they can't afford a gym membership, therefore they can't afford to get healthy. But you do not need a gym membership in order to be fit or be healthy. Running, it's free. Run outside. Do you live in a neighborhood where it's not safe to run outside? There's a lot of free YouTube videos for at home, like in a little box of space, workouts. Will you be able to really build and shape your body as you would if you had access to a ton of weight equipment? Not quite, no. But you don't have to look like a bodybuilder to be healthy. And you can make a ton of progress with just body weight. And if you add resistance bands in there, you can do a lot. So do not let the lack of ability to afford a gym membership or the lack of a gym in your area stop you from pursuing health and pursuing fitness. So the biggest takeaway that I want you to get from this is that healthy foods are not necessarily expensive. It's the foods that have a whole marketing budget behind them to market them as healthy foods that tend to be expensive. Things that are packaged and heavily marketed as healthy are not necessarily necessary in your diet. Like chia seeds, yeah, super healthy for you. They're a great breakfast option / salad topping option. Are they necessary to be healthy? No. So don't think that you have to eat like me to be healthy. I just prioritize my health above all. I wear clothes that have holes in them. I wear clothes from 8th grade because I don't spend money on clothes. Literally yesterday I pulled out a pair of socks that had holes in them and I just put them back on my feet because I don't want a big sock budget, I want a bigger food budget. I don't pay for entertainment services like HBO or Hulu. I don't spend money going out to bars. I don't go out to bars, and if I do, I usually just get soda water with lime, which is free. I basically structure my whole life and whole budget around maximizing my food budget because that's just where I want to spend my money. But you don't have to do that. Focusing on whole foods is a big enough step for most people. So I hope this video was helpful and shed some light on how to eat healthier on a budget. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Anything else you want me to address on this topic, any other videos that you want me to make about health and budgeting and fitness and all of that stuff, definitely let me know. In the meantime, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up because it really does support me and my channel and I really genuinely appreciate it. Please share this video with your friends, your family, your neighbors, anyone else who wants to eat healthy but is on a tighter budget. If you want to see more videos from me all about health and fitness and what I like to eat in a day, you can check them out over here. In the meantime, if you want to see more videos from me in the future, hit that subscribe button, hit the little notification bell so you get notified when I post a video, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.